So, okay, Andrew, you ready to go?
I hope so.
Here we go. First question that's on a lot of retirees' minds. What could be the impact on my pension if I decide to retire early?
Oh wow. Every pension's different. Some you have to take at a certain age. Some gives you a lot of flexibility, and some of them increase at a 7, 8% threshold, while some only accrue at a 3 to 4% threshold. And this is why when we build a retirement income plan for a client, we're helping them navigate to take survivor benefit or not to. Like literally, my last call of the day today will be calling someone to talk to them about making this irrevocable decision. There's a
Mm.
10-year age gap between them and their spouse, and they're both in good health. Both of their parents lived into their 90s, but do they take survivor benefit? Do they not? It's a $700 expense per month for this family if they
Mm.
decide to take survivor benefit. And that's a huge decision, right? If it's going to cost you that kind of money over your lifetime, I mean, $700 a month times 12 times 20, 30 years is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money. And so when we're looking at deciding to take a pension early or not, well, we have to look at how fast are your other assets growing at a guaranteed pace. Why would you take your pension earlier if it's growing at a 3, 5, 7% rate of return when your other assets are not guaranteed to do so?
Yeah, I can see that's complicated and definitely get some professional advice before you make that decision on your own. Yeah, that's a big one. All right, here's another concern for retirees, and we talk about this pretty much every weekend on our show. How might healthcare costs affect my retirement savings?
Well, we do a 7-hour class for federal employees. It's a ProFeds workshop. We do it quarterly. And talking with clients about FEHB, Federal Blue Cross Blue Shield, and how is that the benefit you should take for the rest of your retirement? Maybe it's been good while you're working, but is it probably recommended for you to go to Medicare with a supplement? Should you go with Medicare Advantage? I mean, it gets really confusing, Luann, because even looking at Medicare with a supplement, I mean, there's all these plans through the alphabet. It feels like it
Mm-hmm.
goes from A to Z. And so it's very complicated. And that's why we have Paul in our office, and he's the subject matter expert. He will help families say, all right, tell me about what your current coverage is at work. Tell me what kind of prescriptions you're taking. Tell me what kind of illnesses you've suffered with. What does your family history look like? Then he can help you navigate what is the right decision for you and your family. And this is a big decision. A lot of people go with the free lunch, like a Medicare Advantage plan, which we can do for families, but sometimes a free lunch isn't so free on the back end. And so you need to make sure that you and your family, you and your spouse are choosing the right options for your situation. Just for example, like FEHB, you could potentially put that on pause and come back to it. And so there's different things that many families are not even aware that they can do with their health care. And this is why you need someone speaking to that into your retirement.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So, I'm 65 or I'm not yet. My birthday's coming. And so I'm going to have to, what would that be called? I sign up for Medicare, but I'm not going to go on it yet. But I have to do
Right.
that, right? Because of my
Yeah, you're
age.
gonna probably take Medicare Part A
Yeah.
and continue working,
Yep.
keep with the work health insurance that you have,
Yep.
and then you will probably transition when you retire. You have a window of time to transition to either Medicare Advantage plan, Medicare Supplement
Yeah,
plan.
like you were saying. And yeah. And so, I'm getting all kinds of things in the mail, of course, right now.
Oh
It's
man,
just,
you won't forget your birthday when
yeah.
it's 65. They'll
Right.
blow up your mailbox.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's such an important thing, and healthcare costs can be expensive if you don't have the right coverage. Okay, so let's move on to another question here. Concern for retirees: how do I calculate for inflation when trying to figure out if I've saved enough?
Yeah, all of our income planning illustrations have definitely changed as of late. We used to use 3% as an inflation average, and I know many people's inflation rates are a lot higher than that. It's obviously based on how you spend money and what you spend your money on. So right now we have bumped that up to be 4%. And income planning is where we need to bring in the calculators, where we bring the science. A lot of
Mm.
what I do is art and science, but this is where the science comes in. We bring in financial planning software that says, here's how much that client can spend with a 99% probability that you're not going to run out of money. I have no idea how someone figures it out on the back of a napkin or with some Excel spreadsheet because they took a couple years of Excel spreadsheet classes. That's not something I would risk my entire retirement on, is your math and Excel. Not mine either. That's why we have financial planning software that's designed to take in all the variables, do hundreds of Monte Carlo simulations to make sure that you have a 99% probability. Because here's why: when you jump into retirement, it's like jumping on an airplane. You do not want 91% probability that your plane's going to get to the right destination. You need 100%
Yes.
probability.
Yes.
You need 99.9.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this is why income planning is so essential. Work with a professional, even if it's not us, to make sure that you have a retirement income plan that takes into account a 4 or 5% inflation rate.
Okay. And then another question people are asking, when should I start, or when is the right time to start planning for retirement?
Well, I mean, it's like the old proverb says, you should have planted the tree years ago. Of course, there's no too early. There's definitely too late to do
Yeah.
retirement planning. But I think if 5 years, 10 years out, you're going to have major decisions. Probably the 10-year out, you're going to have major crossroads to start deciding on. 5 years out, major decisions. There's different crossroads that you don't want to go it alone. Again, you could try to wing it yourself. I just met with a family and they said, we've listened to the YouTube videos. We've listened to the personalities. I said, those personalities are not going to be, professionally accountable. The SEC is not going to hold them accountable. The YouTube videos that you heard are broad spectrum advice, and you need custom advice to you. Because they said, yeah, we were talking about Social Security, and I watched these YouTube videos, and it told me all the things to think about, but it didn't tell me what to do. And I said, well, how can it? It doesn't know you.
Yeah.
And so this is why you need a person in your corner that's helping you make these decisions. And that's what our firm at Swan Capital does. But there are many great firms that you could definitely interview, which I recommend.
800-848-8768 is the number to either call or text to the word SWAN to get on their calendar, because it's complimentary. Andrew is offering you an hour of his time, complimentary. Take advantage of it. They have offices in Pensacola and Daphne, Alabama. They're an independent firm. Keep that in mind. And, it's their goal to help you live well in retirement. It's their passion to help you sleep well at night. And we thank you for joining us. This is What Your Money Would Say with Andrew McNair. I'm Luann Fulmer.